Welcome to This Note. Today, we're going to completely dismantle everything you thought you knew about building and monetizing in the digital economy. If you're a startup founder, a creator, or really anyone trying to build digital wealth, you need to hear this. We aren't just talking about making websites fit onto smaller screens. We're talking about a fundamental rewiring of human purchasing behavior. So let's start with a provocative reality check. Is traditional e-commerce dead? Well, functionally, yes. The era of a user deliberately sitting down at a computer to go shopping is pretty much over. Traditional e-commerce relied on intentional, destination-based behavior. But as we're going to see today, that old model is being rapidly replaced by something far more constant and fluid. Think about the massive shift from desktop to mobile. Desktop commerce was all about intent. You had specific episodes of browsing where you actively searched for something. Mobile commerce, on the other hand, is an always-on behavioral control system. It doesn't wait for you to have intent. It continuously and ambiently intercepts your behavior. This note is your blueprint for navigating that exact paradigm shift. To get you future-ready, this note covers the new commerce reality, the psychology of smartphone consumers, social commerce, the AI prediction engine, building the mobile stack, and finally, the invisible future of commerce. Let's jump right in. Starting with Section 1, the new commerce reality, focusing on the shift from desktop first to mobile first. If you trace the evolution of commerce, we went from physical barter to standardized money to retail stores, and then the desktop web. With every single step, we reduced friction. But mobile ecosystems, they are a total break from the past. Mobile is the very first interface that is entirely ambient and contextual. Commerce is now literally woven directly into the fabric of your daily life. There is a brilliant insight from our source material that every founder needs to internalize. Mobile is not a screen size. It is a behavioral environment. It collapses the delay between desire and action. It's a sensor-rich space that knows where you are, what you're doing, and honestly, what you might want before you even realize it yourself. That brings us to Section 2, the psychology of smartphone consumers. Let's look at what happens to the brain on scrolling. We know modern consumers switch apps every 30 to 90 seconds. Because smartphones drastically reduce cognitive load and shorten feedback loops, logical comparative decision-making completely breaks down. We call this impulse-dominant commerce. It's purchasing behavior driven by emotional triggers and fragmented attention, rather than rational evaluation. Mobile commerce isn't rational. It's highly reactive. And you aren't just building a digital storefront anymore, you are engineering a dopamine feedback loop. It's a precise system. It starts with a trigger, like a notification, that leads to an action, like scrolling or tapping. Then comes the reward, maybe some novelty or social validation. And finally, reinforcement, as the algorithm learns what you like. Every micro-decision naturally cascades right into an emotional purchase. This psychological loop perfectly sets up Section 3, social commerce and attention, where the feed has literally become the store. For the creators and freelancers listening, you already know the traditional, slow marketing funnel of awareness, interest, consideration, and conversion is practically ancient history. It's been violently compressed into the creator funnel. Watch video, trust, buy. This rapid loop relies heavily on human influence and emotional connection, bypassing those sterile, old-school brand catalogs entirely. But here is the brutal reality of trying to monetize in this space. You have exactly 3 seconds. If your mobile interface doesn't deliver absolute clarity and value in 3 seconds, that consumer is gone permanently. Attention is incredibly fragmented, and cognitive fatigue kicks in almost instantly. Speed and immediate relevance are literally your only lifelines here. Let's look at the tech making this possible in Section 4, the AI prediction engine. Commerce is shifting from search to anticipation. The data tells a fascinating story here. AI recommendation systems are the new silent salespeople of the digital economy. User-initiated searches are actually decreasing as the primary driver of commerce, while AI-predicted recommendations are skyrocketing. AI is proactively going out and finding users for products rather than sitting around waiting for users to search for them. So how is it doing this? Through what we call the AI commerce superstructure. These systems collect behavioral data, like how fast you scroll or where you pause, and use it to predict your emotional state in real time. They can dynamically rewrite the storefront and adjust pricing for every single user in a matter of milliseconds, all to maximize the probability of an impulse buy. Okay, so how do you actually build a business to capture this wealth? Let's open up the strategic playbook in section 5, building the mobile stack. To really thrive, you have to build across the entire 5-layer mobile commerce stack. You capture attention, stabilize it with engagement, drive conversion through frictionless UX, secure the value with one-tap payment, and then multiply your revenue through retention via smart notifications. If you fail at any single layer, like, say, a clunky checkout process, you destroy the entire behavioral loop. And man, that payment layer is absolutely critical. Just look at the evolution of frictionless payment. We went from tediously typing out forms and passwords to instant biometric authentication, and now we are hitting invisible background tokenization. Mobile wallets have basically eliminated transaction friction. Paying is now a simple, thoughtless gesture. Half the time, it feels like the transaction never even happened. I want you to burn this quote into your brain as your ultimate design philosophy. In mobile commerce, UX is not how a product looks. It is how quickly desire becomes ownership. In the mobile economy, speed isn't just some vanity performance metric. Speed is literally profit. Any friction at all is just a tax on your revenue. Finally, let's look at the endgame in section 6, the invisible future of commerce, where things get ambient and autonomous. We are rapidly accelerating toward a post-screen era. Get ready for ambient commerce. We're talking about spatial commerce, where augmented reality merges digital products into your physical living room. We'll see voice intent systems, fully invisible background payments, and autonomous AI shopping agents that literally execute purchases on your behalf based on your habits. So I want to leave you with a provocative thought, something to really fuel your next startup idea or product build. When the algorithm is making all the buying decisions and commerce becomes completely invisible, what are you going to build to ensure the system chooses you? Thanks for joining this masterclass note. Now go out there and build something incredible. I'll see you in the next one.